Welcome to another character with a destroyed identity in Season 3. Yo guys, what's up? It's Blackheart here and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna see and we're gonna look at Lili in Season 3. Oh my god, what they did to this card in Season 3. Okay, so she didn't receive a lot of changes, but the ones she received are super strong for the identity of the character. And we're gonna see in detail of why I don't like these changes, especially one that make her even way stronger than she already was. I think Lili, honestly, in Season 2 was in a perfect spot. I don't think she was OP. I don't think she was broken. I don't think she was weak. She was in a perfect spot in between being strong and being weak, in the middle, in between. So of course this wasn't enough for our dear developers, and unfortunately they buffed her even more, as always, and we're gonna go into detail of why this was a thing. So let's see the adjustments. The adjustments are not much, but again are game defining. Let's look at the new move first. She didn't receive any new moves, but two very stupid, crazy new additions to Backturned. Okay, so let's try to understand why these are stupid, especially one of them. So Lili was always a character that kind of struggled going into Backturned, especially from mids. All of her mids that go into Backturned are, you know, on the slower side, okay, of the things. Oh wait, sorry, now June is doing a dig job, okay. All of the things she did the backturn from are very slow, okay, very slow. For example, this one, I don't know, or maybe again this one that is also punishable, this one that is also punishable. Like usually the very strong transitions she had from backturn come from lows. For example, I don't know, down 1-2 that goes into backturned, for example, I don't know, or 4-4-4 that goes into backturned, and all of this shit. But now, of course, as always, a constant reminder of the direction the developers want to go into this patch is patching the character's weaknesses. Her best transition into backturn from mids was back to 1. Then again, it's not like the greatest tool ever, because it's high mid. Okay, but goes into backturn and -4, you know, so okay, not like the best tool ever. And also, of course, you have some time to try and catch with the animation and understand that she's going into backturn. Okay, you have some time to catch it. And also, again, on counter it doesn't do anything, by the way. On counter it doesn't do anything, as you can see. Even if I go into counter it, it's the it guarantees 1-4. So it actually does something on counter. That's on me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm an ignorant piece of shit. Okay. But the thing is that, of course, okay, so it guarantees something on counter. My fault. Oh my god, she's even more stupid than I remember. Okay. But okay, at least on block it's -4. So let's say you have a little bit more option and a little bit more time to deal with their stance. Okay. What they did with Season 3 is adding a new move that goes into backturn that comes from her poking. That's the bad part. At least, for example, in this string, you know, it's not like super used in the neutral because first of all, it has a little bit of a poor range. You know, it kind of steppable and so on. But now they added a new transition into backturn from a poking tool that is forward 1+2. Okay, and this change is insane because it's a 14 frame mid that goes into backturn very fast at -3. So this is probably the fastest transition into backturn from one of her fastest mids, by the way, because again -3 for the character is a huge deal, because again this is basically a free conditioning tool that goes into stance, okay, from the neutral, okay, and she goes, by the way, on counter it, let's remind this, on counter it she's +8, and basically as always guarantees an hit engager as always. Okay, again, guys, this tool is absolutely insane because, for example, she can go into backturn at +8 on hit, okay, and again on counter it like this from a very fast mid, okay. So sometimes you don't even have the time to realize that she went into back turn from this very fast mid that can condition you, because at least, for example, back to 1 is a double string, it's a double punch string, so at least you have a little bit more time to understand what she's gonna do. But this comes out very fast. Okay, and this is I think a character defining weakness that now they patched basically, because now she can condition into back turn way easier, and her back turn mix-up, by the way, is very strong. So the best options, again, since she can condition so much, I think the best option, because I tried with the jabbing loses to a lot of options if you try to jab her out of back turn. Jabbing loses to the 3, jabbing loses to the down 2, jabbing loses to the down 4. Again, you lose to so many options. The same if you try to, for example, do power crush. If you power crush, you lose to the lows. Again, as always, you lose to the throw. Like, I think the best thing you can do in this situation probably is dig jabbing. Because dig jabs, as she also has a power crush, by the way, as always. Let me try to show you. This is trying to sidestep right duck, by the way, yeah? Nice tracking, by the way, at -3. Of course, I don't think also sidestepping right now is a good decision, because you do to a lot of... Again, I think that the best course you could do probably is dig jabbing, because with dig jab you only lose to these 2 options. You see the jumping one and the power crush one. Okay, so she has to commit to a little bit riskier options, because the power crush is punishable, and of course the mid is very slow, so you can try to jab her out of it if you read it. Like, it is very slow. But apart from this, as you can see, the rest loses on block. I'm trying to do different options. I'm trying to do the lows, I'm trying to do the mids, and basically everything loses. Of course, even if you try to cancel the stance, you know, like this, you see that you don't have time, basically. The only thing you can do, of course, is blocking, of course. Apart from the attack options, you can block, of course. But if you try, you know, I'm holding down back now, I cannot do shit. So basically, also, for example, you can forward block, for example. But again, apart from this, and you're +5, and in there, because of course you blocked a dig jab. But apart from this, again, most of their options lose to dig jab. I think it is probably one of the best things you can do in this situation. But again, the thing is that you have to basically be aware of her going into stance super fast and then trying to do something. I think this is very insane for the character, honestly. And not only they didn't I think, like, honestly, they didn't need to do anything on Lili, neither buffs or nerfs. She was alright as she was. Maybe even I would have done a little bit of a feisty rabbit nerf, if for all it concerns me. And also she got a new back turn transition from down forward 4-4. Okay, amazing as always. So down forward 4-4 before didn't have any kind of counter hit property. Just +8 in your face. Now that she can go into back turn, of course something is guaranteed as always. So another basically 2 new ways to go into heat with counter hits, basically. Okay, because we want to enforce these fucking heat properties and so on. Okay, so she needed even a better stance transition. This is from a punish, by the way. This is a 13 frame punish. Okay, that goes into back turned at +2. I'm not gonna lie, being back turn for Lili at +2 is not a huge deal, okay? Like, honestly, it's not like the biggest deal ever. For example, even on hit, here, you can jab most... even on hit, you can jab most of options. Even here, as you can see, I'm trying different options now. Because, again, it's basically worse than... as you can see... Yeah, most of the things get countered by a dig jab. Even on it. Again, as always, the power crush wins. Going away wins as well, and so be careful about this, okay? Because now you're +2. Be careful, because you're gonna get launched. But again, if she tries to attack, most of the things are interruptible by dig jab as always. It could be a good option. Or even again, sidestep right duck is also a good option against back turn. The thing is that I don't like is that, of course, as always, she has new ways to go into counter hits from and then hit. Basically, that's what I don't like personally. Like this, yeah. And again from this. Bear in mind that, by the way, for the 1+2 on hit into back turn, not only she can condition you on block a little bit, so completely free conditioning tool from a poking mid, but it goes into back turn at +8. Jesus Christ, +8. Okay, +8 normally. So basically, a free conditioning tool either on block or on hit. Of course, on hit it's way better because it's +8, but that is the concept. But again, instead on down 4 for coming from a punish that is 35 damage, +2 is not like the biggest deal ever, honestly. Again, because the stance is not like the best ever in terms of mix-up, especially if you have fast options again. So dig jabbing here against Ice Saber and Red Duck is a good option. Okay, so this is what these are her new moves that I don't like again a lot, because basically they patch another card of weakness. Then she also had a buff to another one of her mids, up 4-1, now guarantees even a better follow-up. If I'm not mistaken, before the follow-up was not +23 on it, and it only guaranteed, I think, down 3, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I can be mistaken here, but now let's say the follow-up is way more easier to do, like you can do a free voila with no execution, with no, I don't know, with no problem, because again the follow-up is hard knockdown, as you can see. So +23, so you can do the world here. Okay, so again another buff to one of her poking tools. But the damage went from 20 to 17 to compensate a little. Okay, at least they had the decency of nerfing the damage a little bit. So again, they nerfed the damage, but there's a better guaranteed follow-up. And another good change I think they did is now back turn to 1-4 is only -1 on block. It went from minus, I don't know why this change, honestly. It was fine as it was, because it's a hit engager from back turn, and it's way super fast. It's high, it's high, and it's again 8 frames. This comes from a 8 frame string. So why buffing the frames on block? I have no idea. A completely unnecessary change, if you ask me. No need for this to be -1. -1 is good, very good, because it's basically almost 0. Almost like no one has their turn on your opponent. For example, a common mix-up that now the Lili players are doing is doing this into 1-1-1. This into 1-1-3. Sorry, 1-1-1-1-1-3. Because again, you're only -1, so you do this into jab, maybe. If they try to do a little bit of a slower option, try and check you out, you get counter it. But again, I don't know why this change. It's super strong for the card to have this. No idea as always. And then the last change is to her full crush down 4-1, and now deals cheap damage. Random. Again, random changes, because this is -6 on block anyway. So most of the times when this gets blocked, you just do a poking back and you got the life back, basically. So what's the point of adding cheap damage? No idea. Apart from the fact that it is like only 4 damage. Like, but what are these changes, man? But these changes are insignificant. I don't know if you can understand. They are insignificant, basically. Like, if you did this change or if you didn't do this change, the card would always would be the same. So I don't understand really the point. Where is the point in this? Okay. Again, as always, she didn't get any nerfs. I think she deserved some small nerfs. Again, for example, to Feisty Rabbit, especially, it's super strong right now. And honestly, I think also to her hit smash. Too too fast, and too much damage. Her new hit smash, by the way. For a card like this, look at the damage. 55 damage, mama. I mean, all of the hit smash should do at maximum 45 damage, if you ask me. All of these 60, 55, 40 million damage is too much. And then again, for example, I think her Feisty Rabbit low should be -14 instead of -13. Because it's a very powerful low, and the mix-up is very toxic already. Okay, so I think it will be fine if her low was a little bit more punishable if you guess wrong. Because again, the reward is super high. -13 is a lot, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's sufficient for how strong this low is. Same applies for Xiaoyu's Hypnotist low, by the way, if you ask me. Xiaoyu's Hypnotist low should also be -14, because these lows have all of the rewards and almost no risk. Like, the risk is minimal compared to the reward. So I can -14 instead. -14 means that more characters can launch you, more characters can punish you better, and so on. So it's a little bit of more of a risk you take. Apart from this, I think Lili, honestly, is in a good spot, but not too much to call her broken. Apart from this, like, she was a good character with strengths and weaknesses, and that's why I liked her in Season 2. I think she was one of the few characters that didn't get completely butchered in her design. But at least, as always, Season 3 has to ruin this, because now she has an easy option that goes into Backturn to condition you for free. And in fact, every Lili player is spamming the shit out of this now, by the way. Every single Lili player is spamming this shit. Because, of course, he's super strong. So, yeah. Hopefully. Like, I think this should be at least -4 or -5 on block. Because, for example, again, this is -4, but it comes from a 2-hit string, and it's not very used. For example, this one is super used right now. And it's super fast. The transition is super fast, and it's super conditioning. So, at least being a little bit more minus, maybe I get -5. Because normally this is -7. So, you gain 2 frames if you go into backturn, but not 4 frames if you go into backturn. That is fucking stupid, in my opinion. But -5 will be a little bit interesting because, you know, now you gotta try to place your power crush maybe, and there are more options to try and check you. And basically, but it still stays a very good counter too. So, it doesn't become a complete, I don't know, a complete conditioning tool on block, but it still has a countered property at least, and that's why it becomes good. So opponents can check you better if you go into backturned, okay? But you don't have a complete conditioning tool for yourself. So yeah, guys, these are all the Lili changes in Season 3. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and see you guys very soon again. Take care, love you. Bye! And happy Easter, guys, by the way. Love you.